Hello. Welcome everyone to Maximize Revenue, your Yext game plan for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A few housekeeping items before we get started here. If you have any questions through our training today, feel free to write them down and save them to the end of our training. We will have some time set aside for Q&A. You're also welcome to submit those questions using the Zoom Q&A box as we go. I have my team member, Hema Patel. She's an associate director of the training and education team on with us today, and she'll be helping answer questions as we go through today's training live in the Zoom Q&A box, and then of course later today in our Q&A session after the training. Everyone's been automatically muted to avoid disruptions and minimize technical issues, so if you notice that you don't have the ability to unmute yourself or that you are muted, that's why. And then after the webinar concludes, you'll be invited to complete a survey regarding your experience on today's webinar. I would love to have all of you fill that out. It provides my team with helpful feedback and insights that helps inform us as we continue to provide more trainings in the future. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in. My name's Alyssa Riddle. I'm a training and education manager here at Yext, and I'm excited to spend some time and walk you through a high impact, low effort strategy that you can take to optimize your digital presence for one of the biggest shopping weekends of the year. We're going to be talking about a common holiday pain point today. And that is, during the holiday season, customers are expecting fast, accurate answers about your business, no matter where they're searching. If your hours are wrong or your deals aren't easily searchable, you're losing out on peak conversion volume. My goal is to help you understand how strategically optimizing your presence now can help you drive search traffic and transactions. Think of this webinar as your jump start to a successful holiday season as we approach the end of this year. In the next 30 minutes together, we'll be focusing on 3 critical time-sensitive actions that you can take today to prepare your business for the holiday season, specifically Black Friday and Cyber Monday. The first one is business hour accuracy. We'll talk about best practices and processes to update business hours. We'll be talking about how to schedule vital updates. I'll demo this so that you can see live in the platform how this works. And we'll also talk about how you can drive sales using strategic posting techniques like limited time offers, as well as other approaches to posting. You'll also be introduced to the holiday optimization playbook and a roadmap for successful marketing and positioning as we approach the November holidays. I'll walk you through where you can access these resources and how. You'll also be able to access them here in the webinar. We'll share them with you later today. So before we dive in, we have a quick poll for you. I'm going to go ahead and have Hema launch that. If you could just indicate which of these answers the question, which of the following updates is your biggest priority or concern right now for you? That will help us understand what you're hoping to gain from our time together today. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Hema. Let's go ahead and end that poll. This helps us get a good take on what kind of content you're hoping to discover from our time together and how we can best help you. All right, so let's start with a high-level look at the entire Yext platform and where today's content fits within that. The goal of the Yext platform as a whole is to store your brand's information in a way that search engines and AI can both easily understand and search, and then deliver that information to consumers wherever they may be looking for information about your brand. All of this requires strategic collection, organization, and delivery. This all comes into play in a very big way when it comes to holidays like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, both of which signal a very busy time for shopping and spending across various industries. So if your business hours are outdated, or if your deals aren't searchable through typical search engines or AI, this means that you're likely missing out on peak conversion volume. These holidays can also offer you an exciting opportunity to drive impulse traffic and transactions using posts, updated calls to action, and more during this intense shopping period. The structure of your Yext platform essentially allows you to focus on the high stakes, time sensitive nature of the Black Friday weekend, provided that you prepare with careful insight, planning, and action. So one of the most important actions to take, and this should be your highest priority walking away from our training today, is confirming your holiday hours for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. If you have early openings, unique closures, or adjusted hours, it's very important that you double check your hours, update them as needed with urgency. The reason why is because this information is going to flow directly from your knowledge graph, the source of truth for all of your brand data, into your listings as published by our publisher network. The critical takeaway that I've highlighted on this slide, it's important to update your hours at least 2 weeks before the holiday. Publishing delays, especially with platforms like Google, can can add your updates to a pending status that means that your customers aren't seeing them live, which essentially means they show up potentially to a closed store or worse, miss your opening doorbusters. So, all in all, even if your hours aren't changing, take the time today to confirm them, or if they are changing, get them updated as soon as possible. The closer you wait to the holidays to make these changes, the more likely it is that your customers will have a negative experience. So let's go ahead and go live in the platform and talk through some of the things that we're going to be seeing today. An incorrect closing time for Thanksgiving or Black Friday is a guaranteed lost sale and a frustrated customer. So we're going to be starting with talking about how to update or confirm your business hours. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my my platform demo build. Keep in mind here, this is a build just for demoing like this one. And you might see some things here that are a little bit different from what you're used to seeing in your Yext platform, and that's okay. The main capabilities are going to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and go straight to the knowledge graph, and we're going to use the ability to update hours in bulk to update my holiday hours for several of my entities at once. So what I'm going to do, I've navigated to entities. I'm going to select the entity, or in this case, multiple entities that I want to update the holiday hours for. So I know in this scenario, I'm going to be updating the hours for Spring Green Lawn Care. So I'm just going to go ahead and search for those specific entities and select all of them. There should be 27. Here we go. I've selected all 27 of them, and I'm going to click More Actions and Edit. This will allow me to bulk update the hours for all 27 of these entities at once. Now, of course, these kinds of changes can be made on a one-off basis. I'm making them all at once for all of these entities to save myself time and work later. Now, I can confirm business hours or update them from here for all locations at once. What I want to do today is I want to update my hours. I'm actually going to be making changes. I want my locations, all 27 of them, to close at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving Eve, so on the night of Thanksgiving. To do this, I'm going to use the hours, holiday hours field, which is located in business details right here. So this is different from my normal hours field. This is a specific holiday hours field that I'm going to be making this change in. And I'm going to go ahead and update this. I want to go ahead and pick the date. So this is going to be Thursday, November 27th. That's Thanksgiving. Right now it says that my holiday hours will be regular. I actually want this to say open from my opening time, whatever that is, let's say 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I can adjust the AM PM here. Perfect. So what's going to happen now is once I hit save for 27 profiles, what this is going to do is it's going to plan this holiday hour update so that when customers are searching for my entities, all 27 of them, on Thanksgiving, they'll see that our hours are 8 to 5 p.m. as opposed to our regularly scheduled hours. And that should go live, or that should go into the listings as necessary and be live for the publisher to update as soon as I hit save. Now, a quick note here. Let's say that my business hours aren't changing. We're going to be staying open, business as usual on Thanksgiving Day. If that was the case, I can confirm my hours simply by following the same process. I would come into the entity or entities, locate the holiday hours field, and then I would select regular hours from the dropdown. Once I go ahead and make that update and save, that adds a confirmation message on my Google listing, building confidence on the part of both Google and my customers because they can see that my hours have been confirmed by me, by the business, and they'll be confident that we're going to be open on those days. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that update. It's gone ahead and scheduled. We can see here that it has the day and time of the holiday hours for that specific day. Now, this can be done for multiple holidays at once. So if I wanted to theoretically come in here and make this update and mark my special business hours for Christmas, for Black Friday, for Cyber Monday, for as many holidays as necessary, I could come in here and do this for all 27 entities at once. Again, focusing on getting this done well ahead of time to avoid any potential issues with my publishers. So, in a nutshell here, a quick update in the knowledge graph is going to guarantee that my right business hours are demonstrating or showing up on every platform: Google, Apple, Facebook, Yelp, whatever publishers my entities are listed with. Consistency builds confidence. Therefore, I want to get these hours locked down as soon as possible this week. All right, so our second high impact action that we're going to be talking about today is to automate your time sensitive changes. Your teams will likely be really busy on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, making reliance on manual updates both risky and complicated. So we need to preload the critical information now. This is where scheduled updates shines for seasonal, low effort changes, things like promotional banners, specific holiday descriptions, or changing your featured image. Essentially, it allows you to set it and forget it. What we're going to do today is schedule an update to launch a free shipping on all orders or a 50% off clearance items type of promotion. So to do this, I'm going to start by scheduling my update. I'm going to do this for several entities at once. Again, we'll go with the spring grain example again. I'll select all 27 of these entities, select Edit from the More Actions dropdown, and I'm going to start by scheduling my update. So to schedule an update, you start by locating the scheduled updates box on the right-hand side of your screen, and then click Add an update. Then select the date and time that you want this update to go live. So in this case, I want the start date to be Black Friday. That's going to be November 28th. I want this to go live at 12 a.m. and I'm going to leave the time zone relative. Since this is multiple entities across multiple time zones, I want this to go live at 12 a.m. in each of their respective time zones. Once I've selected that, I'm going to hit create. The page is going to reload. Then I'm going to go locate the specific field that I want to update. In this case, it's the description field. So I'm going to click the pencil to add. And I'm going to add my promotional message. So here I'm going to be doing, let's do a 50% off all clearance items. So I'll say Black Friday sale. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit schedule update for 27 profiles. If you see this message, that means that you have scheduled the update correctly. And when you hit the button, this description is going to be scheduled to go live on the specified date and time that you scheduled up here. Now, before I finalize this, I need to decide if I want to revert back to original content. This is a really important step to take for holiday content. I do want to revert this back. This sale is not a long-term thing. It's just going to be available for a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule this to revert right before midnight on Cyber Monday. So the date is going to be Monday, December 1st, and the time is going to be 11:45 p.m. on that day. Now you'll notice that I already have chosen the relative time zone, so I won't be able to individualize it for this reversion. The reversion time zone is going to be the same as the scheduled update. So what this means is my update's going live on Black Friday. It will be taken down automatically. I don't have to do anything about it. It'll automatically be taken down and revert back to whatever was originally in the description for all 27 of these businesses, of these entities, I should say, on Cyber Monday at 11:45 p.m. So what we did here, I just guaranteed that my promotional copy starts and ends automatically. No one needs to manually take this down on Tuesday morning. It frees up me and my team to focus on serving customers during a very busy week. I highly recommend that you find ways to use scheduled updates for all or as many as possible of your week of promo text. All right, so our final action item is going to be driving foot and digital traffic using engaging posts. This is how we convert search traffic into transactions. We need to find ways to create posts that are timely, promotional, and localized for the people who buy from us. When it comes to what you post, aim to balance two types of posts in your content. You have promotional posts and lifestyle posts. Shoot for a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 promotional posts for every 1 engagement post. What's promotional content? Promotional content focuses on the transaction and the urgency. Some examples of promotional content include doorbuster announcements, promotion posts for special discounting or pricing, and more. This could also be reminders for special products or services, Cyber Monday or Black Friday hour updates, or urgency posts that prompt an immediate visit or purchase. What is lifestyle content? This is the kind of content that focuses on community, value, and connection. Some examples of this type of content can include gratitude posts, things like expressing appreciation for your customers, Thanksgiving gratitude as we approach Thanksgiving in the US, suggestions for tips, routines, meal recipes, or rituals that facilitate those self-care, cozy vibes, wellness, goal setting that we want to get ourselves into as we approach the end of this year and start a new year. So now that we've talked a little bit about what you're posting, let's talk about the how. I want to go ahead and create a promotional post. I'm going to be creating a limited time offer post to drive urgency and promote a flash sale that I'm holding. And I'm going to schedule that out to be posted on my business Facebook accounts and my Google business profiles. So to do this, I'm going to go to social. Now, a quick note about this. There are two different kinds of posts that you can strategize and leverage to get more traffic to your business, to your website as we approach the holidays. You have social posts, which if you use Yext Social, hopefully you're familiar with these. These are just posts that go directly to your synced social media profiles. And then there are local posts. I'm just going to call them local posts for lack of a better blanket term here. Local posts include Google business profile posts, Google local posts, and then also Apple Maps showcase posts. You do not need to have purchased Yext Social to make these types of posts. So what I'm about to show you, when we go into social and the post feed to create a post, you can do this even if you have not purchased Yext Social to create those Google local posts or Apple showcase posts, and you don't need to have that Yext Social purchase to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and click the new post option, and I'm going to select my entities. Now, I want to go ahead and choose all of my, I'm just going to go ahead with the spring green example here, all 27 of my spring green entities. It looks like there's 28. And then I'm going to select my publishers. Now, this list will be showing you whatever publishers your entities have been synced with. So I have Facebook and Google Business Profile. Those are the two that I want to go with for this post. If you have connected with other publishers, you would see them here. This is just the available options for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a post title. Now, as highlighted here by this helpful tooltip, the post title is not something that your customers are seeing. It's here purely for your own internal organization. So don't worry about making it too intense. I'm going to go with Black Friday flash sale. And then I'm going to add my content here. So what I want to do is I'm doing like a special promotional sale where the first 50 customers get 50% off of their purchase. So I'm just going to write that down here. And then I'm going to add any applicable media here. I'm going to leverage my asset library by selecting an asset. I have this fun little flash sale poster that I'm going to add. Perfect. Now you'll notice that I do have additional options down here like call to action. So for example, if I wanted to set a call to action to call, I could set that up here. And what this is going to do is on the Google post, it's going to add that call to action button. So if someone were to tap the call button, it would use the primary phone number of the Google listing associated with it. So I'm going to cancel that and I just want a good old post. So when I get ready to post, I can click post now, or to schedule, I click the drop down and schedule post. This is a really important strategy to keep in mind as we approach the holiday season. Scheduling your post content ahead of time frees you up to focus on customers and the most important things that may come up during the holiday weekends as we get closer to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule this to go live on Black Friday. That's going to be Friday, November 28th. And I want this to show up at 6 a.m., not 12 a.m. And I'm going to leave that on my local time zone and schedule my post. Perfect. So don't mind my post ineligible message here. That's simply because this is a demo org. Ideally, you wouldn't be seeing that. But essentially, what I want to draw your attention to is the scheduled here. Scheduled status draws my attention to the fact that this is something that has not gone live, but it is scheduled to go live in the future. If I wanted to see more details, I can click here to duplicate or delete the post. And on that specified day, so Black Friday at 6 a.m., I should see this go ahead and go live on my selected publishers. In this scenario, that would be Facebook and my Google listings. High level takeaway here. Prepare all of your posts now and schedule those posts, whether they're promotional or lifestyle content, to automatically publish and save yourself stress later. The simple scheduling and posting step turns your digital presence into a valuable lead generation resource as we approach these two important purchasing holidays. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the resources for you to know about today. For those of us who are joining live, in just a few minutes, we'll be sharing the resources that you can open directly from the Zoom webinar. Right now, I'm going to walk you through the process of accessing the resources that I had mentioned earlier from Yext Academy. So to access Yext Academy, you can go to the Yext website, locate the events page, and then scroll down until you see the customer education webinars and click view webinars. I just want to call out here, this is a great page to save, bookmark, or share with other folks on your team. We're going to be continuing hosting more and more webinars as we move into the new year, including a webinar on holiday optimization as we approach the festive holidays and returns. So keep this page in your back pocket if you want additional training in the future. You can access on-demand training on Yext Academy here by clicking Yext Academy. This is where you'll find, like I mentioned, on-demand training, but also those holiday optimization resources. If you scroll to the bottom of this page, you can also search for it, you should see a holiday optimization resources collection. Again, a great resource to keep in your back pocket, save, bookmark, share, etc. So the Yext Holiday Optimization Playbook is going to offer you clear insights on what you can do to prepare your holiday presence to shine, to prepare your business presence, to shine through the holiday season. The November Holiday Prep Roadmap gives you a week-by-week framework to take all of these what's and execute them in a when and a how. And then the Holiday Optimization Guide gives you step-by-step guide to making the most essential updates. We covered several of these today, like the business description and updating hours. So all three of these are going to be great resources to keep in your back pocket as we approach Black Friday and Cyber Monday. When you try to open one of these resources, you will be prompted to register to access Yext Academy. You can just fill out the fields that are marked as required with the asterisk, your name, email address, create a password, and add your company name. This just helps us understand and have a large picture view here of what team members, what companies and customers are using these resources, etc. So you will be asked to fill this out. Don't be alarmed. That's normal. That's just fine. And just going back here to the Yext Academy, I want to call out one more thing. I highly recommend that you take some time to take a look through here and see what's available. Like I mentioned with the training webinars, our team will continue to create more trainings, more resources for you to have and to use on a regular basis. So definitely stay tuned for more. After our December webinar, we will also be adding additional resources to the Holiday Optimization Collection. So lots more content to come. All right, I'm going to go ahead and come back to our deck here, and I'm going to ask Hema to add the resources here in the webinar for those of you who are attending live. You should be able to access these resources via link and as PDF documents by clicking on the resources box at the bottom of your Zoom attendee panel. Now, if you run into any issues as you're making these holiday optimizations or performing other work in Yext, our team is always ready to help. You can contact Yext support team via email at support@yext.com. You can also access the Yext Help Center for deeper instructions on any of the features that we discussed today at help.yext.com. And then, as I walked you through just a few moments ago, you can access the on-demand content that we have created and are continuing to build on Yext Academy. So all of these resources and more are at your disposal. If you do need to reach out to Yext support for any reason, just a quick note. I highly recommend that you provide your user full name So your name, your email address, and a detailed description of the issue. That way they can help you as much as possible, as quickly as possible. So let's talk next steps. We're going to take a quick recap here and look at your 3 immediate action items to take over the next few weeks. First, make sure that you confirm or update, depending on your business needs, all of the weekend and holiday hours for your entities. So you want to make sure that you're getting ahead of any publishing issues by updating them, confirming them as soon as possible. Second, prep and schedule all of your local and social promotional posts now. Make sure that you're getting those all queued up and ready to go so that you can focus on the big stuff as we approach Black Friday, Cyber Monday, etc. And then finally, execute all of your scheduled updates for your promotions. Really lean on that scheduled update feature to help you stay on top of your timeline and your workload in advance. And then as far as upcoming webinars go, as I mentioned earlier, we will be offering a continuation on this series. This will be our December webinar. It's going to be called Build Customer Confidence. We will be taking a look at how to perform other kinds of important updates that will optimize your brand's positioning for the festive holidays as we head into December and then the New Year and early January holidays. We will also be sharing a December and January specific roadmap in that webinar, so you don't want to miss that. Make sure that you stay tuned for that in the future. All right. Thank you all so much for attending. I hope that we get to see you again in our next session in December. Just as a reminder, you will get a survey in Zoom shortly after the webinar concludes, and we would love to hear any of your feedback on your experience in today's webinar or requests that you have for future training. Thank you, everyone.